Hey guys, this is Pineapple, and in this video, we're going to be talking about a series I only just recently caught up on reading, and that's God of High School. If you aren't aware, God of High School is a Korean webtoon, and webtoons are starting to get their time in the light with big ones like Tower of God and God of High School both getting animated this year. Between the two, I personally enjoyed my read-through of God of High School more, but today we're here to talk about God of High School's anime. Now, you might have heard rumblings about a hot new series starting this anime season with great fights, but is there more to offer here than that? God of High School has some great art and visuals, but what's the story really about, and can you expect a good narrative to be told alongside the highly mobile and cinematic battles? We're going to talk about that and our main character's amazing ability to learn and practically copy every technique that he sees, which is something that you can at least try to emulate with this video's sponsor, Skillshare. Is there anything that you want to learn how to do, especially now that you find yourself spending a little more time at home? Well, now's the time to learn that thing that you've always wanted to. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators and fans like you, with more than 25,000 classes in editing, design, and more. Having a premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of that, so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you and your mid-year goals. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving in 2020. There's classes in art, animation, music, and way more to get into when you start. A ton of you have asked me how I edit my videos or animate certain logos and characters, and Skillshare is a really good way to learn all of the different techniques that I use to put these videos together. There's a great course by Abby Lusing where she teaches you how to use Photoshop and After Effects to put together a simple animation. And you'll definitely recognize some of the techniques that I use myself. Skillshare is super affordable, and an annual membership only costs less than $10 a month, but my first 1,000 subscribers that use the link in my description to join will get 2 months of Skillshare for free. Join more than 7 million other creators learning all sorts of things with Skillshare. With that said, let's get right into the video. Hit it! So God of High School is a series that recently started on Crunchyroll, and it's an anime adaptation of Youngji Park's hit webtoon series, The God of High School. The anime follows our main cast composed of 3 members as they take on a national fighting competition called, you guessed it, the God of High School Tournament, all to gain a wish. Our first main character is Jin Mori, a young man with big spiky hair, strange black and gold eyes, and one hell of a kick. He usually wears a white t-shirt with blue pants and red boots with a blazer wrapped around his waist. He's also rarely seen without his iconic sleeping mask which he wears on his head. Without spoiling too much, Jin is an amazing fighter who joins the God of High School Tournament to get stronger by fighting strong opponents while also searching for his grandfather. He's a loud and happy guy that's always looking for a tough opponent, and if you think he sounds a lot like Goku, you're not wrong to make that comparison, since both Jin and Goku are characters inspired by Sun Wukong from the 16th century Chinese classic Journey to the West. Now, Jin Mori uses renewal Taekwondo, which is a fighting form pioneered by his grandfather, Jin Taejin. He's extremely capable, and we haven't even started to see the beginning of what he can do, but I'm sure that we can save that for another time. Alongside Mori on his journey is Daewi Han, a 17-year-old young man with dark brown short spiky hair and a pretty plain and aloof face. Daewi is usually seen wearing a smooth white button-up with dark pants and dress shoes, and while he's definitely pretty tall, he doesn't look like the most dangerous guy out there. In fact, this guy gets bullied and picked on early on in this series for a while, but once he's let loose, there's few people as tough as Daewi Han. His purpose for joining the God of High School Tournament was to get special nano treatment for a friend going through chemotherapy, and that's a strong motivator for such a strong and driven man. Daewi easily bulldozes through most of his problems with brute strength, and his fighting style involves the use of various stances that improve his power and also set up even more powerful attacks. Daewi is the last person to ever give up, especially when it comes to giving up on a friend. Personally, Daewi is my favorite character after I read the webtoon and caught up, but I'm curious to see what the anime-only response is to his character. For the anime-onlys in the chat, how do you guys feel about him? And for any webtoon readers, please, just try to keep low in the spoilers, shout out to, just be out there, wilding out. Lastly, we've got Yoo Mira, the member of the crew who definitely undergoes the most change on her journey. Mira is a short woman with light brown hair. Her face is usually partially obscured by her huge round glasses, and she can most often be seen wearing her school uniform with her family's passed down treasure, a wooden sword, and a lot of motivation and ambition because she is passionate about reviving her dojo, and more specifically proving that her father's moonlight sword style is a magnificent one. She's very talented, and for me, her journey through the world of God of High School has been one of the most interesting because she walks a very strange path. Mira definitely has what it takes to prove herself, and alongside Jin and Daewi, the 3 represent Korea in the God of High School Highschool Tournament as a force to be reckoned with. But there are monsters out there to deal with, and the elegant fighting that we've seen so far in the anime is eventually going to partially give way to really flashy and colorful battles featuring various godly powers. Now, as far as I've read, the series never loses that martial arts core, and I think that's part of what I really appreciate about the anime the most. The fighting has been absolutely magnificent, and for this series especially, that was very important for Studio Mappa to ace. God of Highschool's art style has a slightly different look from most other anime, with a lot of people joking that everyone looks like they have a cold since their noses and ears are red for some reason, but for the most part, many agree that the art direction chosen for this series faithfully recreates the art in the webtoon. The great character designs paired with the smooth and at times really dramatic animation help keep God of Highschool interesting from a visual standpoint, especially because some of the fights are really intense. As someone who's been begging for more hand-to-hand combat in the anime, I definitely say my thirst is being quenched every week when I turn God of Highschool on and I see some dude doing like a random clean boxing combo into a high spin kick and then throwing the, it's ridiculous, some of the battles. They're really insane. But with all the hype aside, with all the, oh, the animation is pretty, ooh, ah, with all that aside, I would absolutely be lying if I haven't seen a small portion of the audience getting louder and louder and bigger with each passing week. And these are the people that are watching the series as longtime fans of the webtoon who, to put it nicely, aren't in love with how things have been changed between the anime and the webtoon. Now, since I watch the anime and I read the webtoon, I wanted to talk about some of these changes and how I feel about them, since I do think the changes are going to continue as we get further in the anime, and the issue of studios changing content in the anime is a big topic amongst fans of any series that gets changed like this. I know my fellow Tokyo Ghoul fans were definitely worried the first time things seemed to go off track a bit, so is that kind of fear for God of Highschool something that we should expect? God of Highschool's anime has brushed over a few things like Jin Mori's fight with R in the beginning, and the entire 6 storyline going on during the God of Highschool regionals, but I see that the anime is still trying to kind of include scenes that at least reference and inform the audience about these events. Like early on, Mori reveals that him and R fought and he's seeking a rematch, and as of episode 6, we actually have every member of the 6 being introduced as the Nationals arc begins. While I was definitely put off by how certain things are being skipped over or changed, now that we're on episode 6, I sort of feel like I understand the pace of things, and it doesn't feel so strange anymore. This season of God of Highschool is going to cover a lot of content, but I believe it only has 13 episodes to cover all of that material, so they're cutting a few things that happen early on and kind of changing others, while still keeping all of the main and important events in the story so that they can pack all of that content into one season. Now, I absolutely think that the first season should have been 26 episodes so that we could take our time to get through this content, but I can't say that they've done a bad job because I'm still enjoying my weekly God of Highschool anime experience. I think anyone who reads the webtoon should definitely go into the anime with the fact that there are differences in the timing of certain events and how much we see of others in mind, but for anime onlys that are worried about missing out on important details or information, I don't think you have that much to worry about, but I do suggest that you check out the webtoon and maybe even read the chapters after you watch the episodes. So to answer the question presented in the title, with all of the changes, is God of Highschool's anime still worth your time? My honest opinion is, I think so. I think it is, because the anime managed to wow me with the fight so far, including an amazing one in episode 5, and as a webtoon reader, I know the story is heading in a really interesting direction. Things evolve beyond just kind of the range of a ring in a stadium, and if you think what's happened so far is crazy, I mean, wait until you see what's coming. I think if God of Highschool is any sign of what we can expect for Jujutsu Kaisen or Attack on Titan's animes, which are also being done by Studio Mappa, we're in for a treat as long as they learn how to slow the pace down a bit and keep it just right where it needs to be. I believe Jujutsu Kaisen is still scheduled to drop in October, but I don't know if Attack on Titan is going to be dropping this year if recent rumors about it being pushed back to next year do end up being true. Either way, if you want me to talk more about God of Highschool or any other series, or maybe talk about the differences between the manga and the anime on a more weekly basis, like between the episodes or something like that, let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know if you like this more video essay style of video, because I'm thinking about talking about more anime that I really enjoy. Whatever you think, I'd love to hear it, so run into the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. This is Pineapple. Peace.